This is an example of how Gemini Investigator can be used to better understand an application performance problem. It's a fairly typical scenario that can be difficult and time-consuming to solve because it spans IT operations, network configurations, and even security operations. Investigator can greatly simplify and accelerate this process. Let's go ahead and take a look. You've received reports of slow or failed performance in the performance of your e-commerce application, either from application alerts or users. You can either launch Investigator directly from Splunk or start directly in Investigator. If you start from Splunk, you can search for the error string. Looking at the details, you can see it's related to Magento, but there's not much else here that helps us figure out what's going on. Let's go down to the actual error and launch Investigator directly for this incident. Alternatively, you could also just type in the error string directly within Investigator. Here we are. As is typical, there are numerous reported instances of that error, but more importantly, we can identify that they were all generated as a violation of a specific policy called daily performance monitoring. Let's go ahead and isolate this to remove all the other noise. Drilling down, we can see that it is related to the Magento Commerce platform. It appears to be installed on front-end and back-end instances, each one running on multiple server hosts. Now here we could continue to iteratively drill down into each server, but a faster way is to expand the scope of the graph and see if anything interesting pops up. We have two errors, one associated with a front-end server and another associated with a database server running Postgres. What also immediately becomes apparent is that both errors are associated with traffic on the same port, 5432. So let's go ahead and drill into that. In particular, it's related to an ACL entry restricting access to this port. That's part of a set of other rules that were specified. But more interestingly, there's also a reconfiguration event marked as Remove Additional Open Ports. The user responsible for the change is Charlie Atkins, and he's a member of the IT org. And it also looks like he made the change as part of a broader set of configuration changes to other ports as well. What seems likely is that this was an accidental change made by an authorized user who didn't realize that this port was being used by Magento. At this point, our investigation is finished, and we can save our findings as a story, following up with necessary remediation steps. Normally, an investigation like this would have taken hours and used a number of tools. However, we were able to quickly investigate and resolve using Gemini Investigator.